evening and welcome to the February 12th Warwick County Board of School Trustees meeting. Would you please stand and join us in a moment of silence followed by the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3 on the agenda, we have patron concerns, and we have one lady signed up, Sarah James. Would you come to the podium, please? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Okay.
My name is Sarah James. I have a son that goes to Yankee Scout, and I'm also the president of the Boonville Youth Soccer Organization. And we thank you so much for letting us use the facility. Greatly appreciate it. We try to do the best job as we can to keep it up and looking nice. We're wanting to know, can we do an addition onto the concession stand to give us some more room that we desperately need? And then the middle school is wanting to know if they can have a shelter put on their practice fields, because right now all they have is just a couple of trees. So in the heat, in this blazing sun, or if it starts raining, they don't have anywhere for the kids to go out and shelter. So we were just wanting to see about doing this something.
Sure. So thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah,
The best place to start would be with the building principal, Mrs. Kemp at Boonville Middle School.
Okay.
And then she will know what to do once that is brought to her. Then she'll bring that to myself and Mr. Armstrong, and then we can maybe sit down and have that conversation about what you guys are looking at.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item number 4, the school spotlight tonight, Tecumseh High School. Dr. Browder.
Thank you. President Wilhelmus, members of the board, and Dr. Redmond. I want to thank you for the extended invitation to us to share our ongoing experiences at Tecumseh High School. It is with great pleasure that I express my gratitude for the opportunity to work with such dedicated students, talented staff, and a community that deeply values the success of students. Together, the Tecumseh family is committed to fostering a nurturing and inclusive environment where students can flourish academically, socially, and emotionally while preparing them for the challenges they will face after their high school careers are over. In my first year as principal at THS, I am privileged to witness the exceptional qualities that make our school truly special. Tonight you will have the opportunity of hearing from 3 outstanding student speakers: Chloe Ashby, Avery Englehart, and Thomas Pemberton. Thank you once again for your support and encouragement. We look forward to sharing our experiences and discussing the remarkable aspects of our school during the presentation. This time I would like to introduce Chloe Ashby.
I have been very proud to be part of the Tecumseh family for the past 7 years of my education. I have had the opportunity to create bonds with the amazing teachers, learn through classroom and co-curricular activities, and I have been able to let my personality shine while participating in extracurriculars such as swimming and theater. When I walk across the stage at graduation in May and walk out the doors of Tecumseh for one final time, I will be sad to leave the family I have grown up with, but I will always remember the things I have learned and that the THS family will always have my back as I continue my academic career. As we speak to you tonight, we will be elaborating on these opportunities and more that is offered at THS. You will hear from fellow students, staff members, parents, and members of the Elberfeld and Linville communities. You will hear their thoughts and opinions about why THS is such an amazing school with endless opportunities for their students, allowing them to succeed inside the classroom and to continue to succeed as they further their education through college, entering the workforce, starting an internship, and for some, serving our country by enlisting in the armed forces.
Turn the video.
Do we need to dim the lights?
Yes.
Yeah, let's-
Hi, my name is Nathan Keller, and I'm from Tecumseh High School. I'm the 2023-2024 Lilly Endowment Scholar winner. I'd like to thank my teachers and my peers for allowing me to get this award and for helping me get to where I am today. I'm excited to use this scholarship to represent not just Tecumseh, but represent my community. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robert Cruz. I'm a senior at Tecumseh High School, and something I really love about Tecumseh is the student atmosphere. Everybody here treats you so well, and when I missed my freshman year because of COVID and I was homeschooled and came back as a sophomore, it was like I didn't miss a beat. Everybody treated me like family no matter what, and when I went back out for the baseball team and the cross country team, I was welcomed with open arms. The student atmosphere is great. Everybody comes to all the basketball games, all the football games, and everybody just really enjoys it. The teachers at Tecumseh, they will take you in and they really show you what it's like to have good mentors that are also your teachers, and they have a great ability to educate you on a personal level, and that's just a few of the things.
Like, welcome to the world of education. I don't know if. I don't know if Mr. Grimes has a suggestion or.
They have a great ability to educate you on a personal level, and that's just a few of the things.
Ms. Buchan.
Internet.
Dr. Browder, if you want to continue, and if we can get it to work, that's great, and if not, we can certainly share the entire video with the board and with anybody else who would be interested in watching it if we can't get it to come back up. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Avery Englehart, and I'm a junior at THS. Tecumseh High School is currently ranked in the top 100 high schools in the state of Indiana. Our low student-to-teacher ratio allows for major success and contributes to our well above state median 96% graduation rate. Teachers are directly involved with students and care about the success of each and every one of us. We offer multiple advanced placement courses at Tecumseh with a near 50% participation rate. In my advanced placement U.S. history and English courses, I am surrounded by students who are dedicated to their academic career and strive to reach higher expectations. Tecumseh High School surpassed our expectations this past December when our own Nate Keller was surprised with the Lilly Endowment Community Scholarship. This allows Nate a full ride scholarship to any college in Indiana of his choosing. This is not only a reflection of Nate's true hard work and commitment to his education, but also a reflection of how Tecumseh students strive for academic excellence. While Tecumseh students continue to achieve greatness in the classroom, we also excel outside of the classroom, on the field, and court. In my high school career, Tecumseh has had 6 state appearances, and of those 6, been Class 1A state champions 3 times. To say that Tecumseh athletes have a dedication and love for the game is an understatement. When our community comes together, it is a force that cannot be stopped. The support from the entire community, the faculty, other students, is unmatched. Being able to be a part of this kind of environment helps to build character not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. With over half of students participating in a sport at Tecumseh, the discipline we receive in our extracurricular activities overlaps with and is displayed in our classrooms. Our coaches and administrators push us to be the best we can, and this helps Tecumseh students to have a positive attitude and encourages us to persevere academically and physically.
Hello, my name is Thomas Pemberton, and I am a junior at Tecumseh High School. Tecumseh High School provides many opportunities for the development of skills that prepare and aid students to achieve success after high school. These opportunities present themselves in the form of career and technical education classes, or CTE classes. CTE classes allow students to gain skills that translate to trade careers, with aspects of welding, machining, and automotive skills all incorporated into the classes. All CTE classes are dual credit, meaning students receive college credit and high school credit while completing one class. All in all, the career and technical education classes combine for a total of 18 college credit hours. Community support plays a large role in the success of these programs by providing materials or instructions to students within the classroom. The community also provides work opportunities and internships after graduating to kids that have obtained the necessary levels of expertise within the given fields in which they have chosen to pursue. Another project offered through Tecumseh High School is the High School Heroes program. High School Heroes is a program which places high school students into elementary schools around our area, which being a part of the program involves learning lesson planning, presentation skills, public speaking skills, and confidence. High School Heroes follows the Junior Achievement Curriculum, which aims to teach and empower students to succeed in the global economy. High school students serve as role models to the young children in the classrooms while educating them and keeping the children involved and engaged throughout the lesson. The Graduate Forum is a new initiative Tecumseh High School has offered. We asked former graduates who are now in college to return to Tecumseh and share their experiences in college. This year, 15 graduates returned from college, ranging from a first-year freshman to a fifth-year graduate student. Students came during the week of Thanksgiving and answered questions brought forth by our seniors and juniors. They offered insight into successful study habits, what they wished they had done differently to prepare, which classes and teachers at THS provided them the most tools for success, the benefits of time management, and all the other things our students wanted to learn about their future college experiences. We plan to build on this first year and invite students to come back and share their experiences for years to come. These programs and opportunities prepare students for the difficult world outside of high school. Of the THS students who graduate, 65% go to a four-year college or university. 15% directly enter the workforce, while 11% go on to apprenticeships. 6% join the military, and 3% go to a two-year college. All in all, Tecumseh students are successful after high school due in part to the opportunities and experiences afforded and available at Tecumseh.
Okay, guys, going to change things up just a little bit.
I have 9 siblings, and each of them have graduated from here. And the reason we have stayed at Tecumseh for so long is because it feels like a home whenever you come here. It feels like anywhere you go, any corner that you turn around, there's someone that is there for you and will be there to support you through all your successes and even through your failures. I feel like my teachers and my friends at this school are always there to help me whenever I need it, either in my academics, in my homework, or just in life in general. And graduating this year, I am looking forward to the next chapter of my life, and I'm excited to move on, but I'm gonna miss this place because it feels like home.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Marks. I am a junior here at Tecumseh, and I just want to let you know that Tecumseh is truly one of a kind. Our community supports us by always showing up to all of our sporting events and supporting us through thick and thin, no matter what. It is awesome to know that we have a community this supportive, which makes us strive to be better and better every day for them.
Good evening. I am Annie Alcorn, and I am lucky enough to be the guidance counselor at this wonderful school. I came in 2019, the year COVID hit, so I don't know what a normal year is here because we haven't had one yet. So Tecumseh, to me, is kind of like holistic medicine. Everybody has a part. All of it is very different. A lot of it is based on feeling and going with your gut and seeing what works and pulling other people in. It's not just the specialists, it's not just the teachers. It's not just those who are in this building, it's the community, it's the family, it's the neighborhood, it's the elementary schools, it's the middle school, and everything that we all do to make this place special and to give our students what they need to feel special so that they produce and can be wonderful, productive citizens when they leave. It is wonderful to get to see our kids come in that door as freshmen and make a lot of mistakes and struggle to find themselves and work through that and become the people that they become by the time they graduate from here. It's wonderful when they come back from college and visit us and talk about their successes. It's wonderful seeing them at the ball games, but it's wonderful seeing them when they just come and talk to our students. So this is a pretty special place.
Adam Lovelace, and I'm a teacher at Tecumseh High School. This is my 18th year at Tecumseh, and as far as education, I think we're the hidden gem of the county. Our classes usually average between 60 and 70 per grade, and that gives us a great opportunity to know our students on a more personal level, and as a result creates a more positive learning atmosphere. Thanks, and go Braves.
Good evening. Tim Nirenburn. I am a math teacher and athletic trainer here at Tecumseh. This is my 13th year at Tecumseh, 28th year in Ward County, and 31st year in education. When I think of Tecumseh, I think of community and family and teachers, students, faculty, all working together for the betterment of our students. We're one happy family. Best kept secret in Ward County.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and we are all part of Tecumseh FFA chapter. What Tecumseh and FFA means to us is it allows us to get out in the community and help others. For example, we do Ag Days at the 4-H Center where we take the third graders around and we show them all the different parts of agriculture. We do Pioneer Days, and we also do Feed the Farmers where we get goodie bags together and we hand them out to the farmers. This allows us to get out in the community and see what it's like to do all different parts of ag, and it allows us to see all the different opportunities that we are able to have in the ag industry.
Hi, I'm Addie, and going off of what Jordan said, being in ag and FFA, it really broadens your career paths because being at a school with who is just focused on sports, it's something that you don't really think of coming into high school. And when you do come into high school, you can walk into the ag room and you can see a bunch of different career paths that you really didn't think about before. And helping this, you can go up to National Convention and talk to a bunch of these colleges who are willing to give you so much more information about the career paths that you are willing to go into. And it just helps you know a different career path for something that you didn't know before.
Hi, my name is Tony Bale, and I'm a Tecumseh High School graduate of 1993. I just wanted to say how proud I was of being a graduate from Tecumseh High School, our little school between the coal mines and the cornfields. I'm a brick mason by trade, and until I went to work construction, did I realize how many of our graduates work the trades and work construction and that, and have their own businesses. And so we also do very well with in the larger companies and larger businesses. Some of our graduates, like my wife, she's a chief nursing officer. One of my best friends, he's a vice president at one of the larger companies in our area. You know, we're just, our graduates do very well in the military too. We've had military people that have been in special forces, have protected the unknown, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and when one of our graduates actually were with the Blue Angels. So, you know, very proud of coming from Tecumseh, even though it sits between the coal mines and the coal fields. We do very well.
Hi, my name is Jody Yeager. I'm Vice President of Commercial Lending at L&B Community Bank in Linville, Indiana. I graduated from Tecumseh High School in the class of 1993. My wife Kathy, who also graduated from Tecumseh, and I decided a long time ago we wanted to settle in the Linville community because we have deep roots in this area. A large part of those deep roots is Tecumseh High School. We knew, and there really never was a question, that we wanted our kids to go to Tecumseh High School. Last spring, Our 4 sons graduated in the class of 2023 from Tecumseh. I've had the privilege of coaching archery and the clay target team at Tecumseh, and I've seen firsthand the work ethic, the strong personalities and outgoing personalities, and the commitment to team exhibited by a lot of the students. Now, I know obviously their parents and their families have done a lot to instill those qualities in them, but I feel very strongly that the teachers and other faculty and staff at Tecumseh have played a large part in that as well. Students attending Tecumseh have such an opportunity in learning with the small class size and the excellent quality teachers we have out there. I know I've seen firsthand as a parent and also as a student that teachers will push the students for their best and to give their best effort both in the classroom and in extracurricular activities. Now, if you ask me, what is Tecumseh? Tecumseh to me is a tight-knit family of hardworking, excellent students with a very dedicated faculty and staff.
Hi, I'm Deb Tooley. I'm a former school nurse here at Tecumseh High School. You know, it's often said that Tecumseh High School is one of the best kept secrets in Ward County. And they ask me why. Why would we say that? What makes it so different? I can tell you in 1 or 2 words. It's community and family. I grew up in Elberfeld. I graduated from Tecumseh, and I came back here over 25 years ago to work in a community that I love. There are things still in our community that have been going on since I was at Elberfeld. The Kids' Day Parade, the Christmas Parade at Linville, Elberfeld, Tecumseh Middle School, and Tecumseh bring us together as a community. We may be small in numbers, but we are big in heart. We, as a community or a family, people go, the kids get out of here and they say, oh, I'm going to go live my life somewhere outside of Linville. But once they have children, they come back here to raise their children in the community where they grew up. On any given day, you can see our teachers here early in the morning. They stay at night. They help those students who may not be grasping the concept they wanted to get. They're not only helping them with that, they're helping self-esteem. Look around. Any day you walk into a gym, you will see it filled with people. Not just moms and dads and aunts and uncles, but community people who have no ties to the children other than we're family. We open our hearts, we open our wallets when there's a need. If there's a fire, if there's a tragedy, if there's a loss, they open their hearts at Christmas to make sure that no child in need goes without a good Christmas. We offer counseling. We offer a hug when you need it. It is truly a family and a community. Just watching the community interact. And there's always a saying that, you know, if you get in trouble here and they call you a parent, you're going in a lot more trouble at home than you got in here. That's what helps make our community great. And so, if you ask me what makes Tecumseh High School the best kept secret in Ward County, community and family. Once a brave, always a brave. Go Braves!
Thank you. As you have heard, the Tecumseh community takes great pride and accomplishments in student preparation that takes place at our school. We're incredibly fortunate to have exceptional students, supportive parents, a strong teaching staff, and as you heard, a community that is fully invested in our students' educational journeys. Being a part of Tecumseh is an absolute pleasure. And we hope that through our presentation, we were able to give you a clear picture of the positive impact our school has on our students and the community as a whole. It is truly inspiring to witness everyone coming together for the betterment of the students at Tecumseh High School. Thank you once again for your time, attention, and support. We're immensely grateful for the opportunity to showcase our beloved school. And one more time, go Braves. Go Braves.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Browder. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who came to the meeting, but you are certainly allowed to leave. If you would like to sneak out, you're welcome to.
I want to say one thing.
Yes.
30 years ago, I went home and told my wife there was a job opening at Tecumseh. And for the last 30 years, the hard part was getting her to come home. And I can tell you it's because of two things. The staff and the students at Tecumseh make it a place that she wants to be all the time. So thank you very much.
And I'm a Tecumseh graduate.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
It's always a great evening when we get to listen to a presentation from a wonderful school, so thank you for sharing everything. We're going to move on to agenda item number 5, and we get to continue the celebration. We have our next guest speaker and presentation. We have the Castle High School Band Director, Mr. Grant Winternheimer, and Ethan Wilkinson. I think Ethan's here.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Well, good evening. My name is Ethan Wilkinson, Director of Bands at Castle High School. Joining me is Mr. Winternheimer, Assistant Director of Bands, and behind him, 5 of our 6 awesome drum majors of the Castle High School Marching Band. And then kind of behind them too are our incredible, just some of our incredible parents and volunteers and chaperones and pit helpers and prop helpers and prop movers. And people like that, and of course Wendy Glass over here, administrative assistant, and our color guard directors back there, Joshua Waite and Tamara Nguyen. You may have heard we took a trip just a couple months ago, just a month ago, I suppose. Now we got back. It seems like we've lived many lives, I think, over the last few months here. We came here around 13 or so. Months ago, I believe it was, to talk about this trip that we would be taking and to kind of tell you about that. And so we thought it appropriate to come here again and kind of recap it a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. In November of 2022, the Castle High School Marching Band performed at the Bands of America Grand National Championship, and we were lucky enough to be named a finalist of that event. And of the 12, there's always a band that the Rose Committee, the Rose Parade, picks to perform in the Rose Parade every year from that group of 12. And we were the one that year to be chosen. So that was in 22, and then so we marched in the parade this year in 24 on January 1st. These 5 drum majors here represent the 239 students that went on the trip. That was almost all of our students in the marching band got to go, which was great. We had about 250 students in the marching band this year, so 239 boarded several charter buses, and went to Louisville, Kentucky, where we got on a charter plane. They were joined by 25 chaperones, 10 marching band staff, and 6 music travel representatives. We got on that charter flight, which was an incredible way to travel. Over half of the students had never been on an airplane before, so we told them that we've ruined air travel for them by flying that way for the first time. So, but yeah, it was an incredible trip. This was called what we call a big trip. We usually take one of those. Many band programs do this, where you take a big trip once every 4 years. And oftentimes, like I took my big trip when I was a freshman at Castle High School to Disney World, and we had one performance and enjoyed Disney World, and that was it. But at this trip, we actually performed 4 times, which is an incredible amount of performances and a huge undertaking, and really was a huge stressor could be on us and the students. It wasn't just all fun and games. There was a lot of performing to do. We performed at Disneyland first off, and we also performed our marching band show, the field show that you see at halftime and at competitions, at a thing called Band Fest. Our jazz ensemble was chosen to perform at the President's Ball, which was an incredible opportunity for those jazz players. We were the only band, high school band, that was chosen to do that out of all the 15 groups that were there. And that was performing for the presidents of Michigan and Alabama and all sorts of ritzy type people at that event, which was really incredible. And for us as well as directors to go, that was amazing. And then of course the Rose Parade itself on January 1st. One of the best things about the parade is just the theme this year was celebrating a world of music and getting to meet students from all over the country and all over the world, which was really incredible to be able to do that. And then of course the parade itself, well, it was one of the things I was most worried about, you know, 2-hour parade, over 5 miles, are we going to all make it? The energy of the parade was just unreal, and it was the most incredible 2 hours of my life. I think that it was just amazing, and to turn around and see the students and to see all these a million people, almost a million people were lining the streets there, was just amazing. And so it's just, I know it's something that will be in the minds, in the history of the Castle Band program for a long time, and certainly all of these students. Mr. Winterheimer now is going to thank a whole bunch of people, but I just wanted to say thank you for the community support, and thank you to the board, and thank you to our administrators and everyone that has supported us. It is a huge undertaking to have a band of any size anywhere, but to take a band of our size across the country was certainly a huge undertaking, and we couldn't have dreamed of doing it by ourselves. So thank you so much. Here's Mr. Winterheimer.
Yes, I have the exquisite honor to do the simple yet impossible task to try to thank just a few of the particularly adult volunteers that assisted us along the way. I feel like the theme of the school board meeting so far tonight is about community and about family. This certainly, in order to do something like this, it takes a village, and surely every single villager came out of their homes and helped us do this. So we're incredibly grateful for that. So I'm just going to reference a few of the people that helped us along the way, and if they'd please raise their hand as I recognize them. First off, our incredible staff. We're very fortunate to have staff at the middle school and high school level helping all hours of the day and night, and middle school directors helping out high school directors helping out middle school directors. So that's Nikki Miller, John Miller, David Wantland, Jason Pruden, and joined with us tonight is our color guard instructors, Joshua Waite and Tamara Wynn. So a round of applause for all of our directors. We are also incredibly fortunate that some of the burden of administering all of the things that go into running a program such as us is alleviated in some respect by our administrative assistant, Wendy Glass. So a round of applause for Wendy. On the trip itself, we had, like Mr. Wilkinson said, 25 chaperones, and bless their heart, they did it completely free and of the goodness of their soul, and I'm so impressed that their soul was not crushed by the end of it, because it was quite the undertaking to have 25 chaperones looking over 250 kids, you know, halfway across the world. So today we have represented from the chaperones our head chaperone, Amy Van Zandt, as well as our lead medical staff, Crystal Marks. There were a few things that did not come with us on the planes, mainly instruments and equipment and everything we needed for those 4 performances. In order to get that out there, we had very dedicated volunteers that the day after Christmas were in a semi driving across the country. And with us tonight are 3 of our lead pit crew individuals. We have Ryan Barr, we have Jay Albrand, and Scott Welch. We also had tremendous support from the community at large. We had several fundraisers from a booster organization that we provided to the students to alleviate the cost. Our goal was to send every single student that wanted the opportunity to go on this trip and not let finances be a burden. And I think we were successful in doing that, and certainly not only from those fundraisers, but we had a very, very generous outpouring of support from the community at large. A lot of sponsors that stepped up in the process of it and have stepped up since as well. So thank you to our community sponsors as well. And last but not least, we are incredibly grateful and would not certainly have this opportunity at all if not for our administrators. We're joined tonight by our principal, Mr. Jim Hood, who actually also joined us to California as well. We had the pleasure of seeing him out there, and he had the pleasure of seeing us out there performing as well. So thank you to our administrators, including Mr. Hood. And last but not least, thank you for allowing us to take a portion of your meeting tonight and come and discuss this with you, the school board proper. Thank you when we had the Rose Parade president in person for coming and supporting him being here and making this community as welcoming as it truly is. And as a token of our gratitude and a piece of memorabilia, a keepsake from the trip, we would like to give the school board a drumhead that was performed in Pasadena on January 1st of 2024. We hope that this drumhead serves as a reminder of what this trip was for not only our students, but what this meant for our community as a whole. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak. I think Mr. Wilkinson may have some closing remarks here.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, just quickly to wrap up, just what an incredible trip it was. Please, if you have the opportunity to talk to a student about their trip, you should. And just to see their faces and performing, and just the opportunity to travel, I think is so important. And so that was why it was really important for me to get as many students as we could across the country. And just big thanks, just real quick, to Mr. Winterheimer. He is just incredible, and this is his second year here and my fourth year at Castle, and just really, both of us are Castle graduates, and just couldn't be happier to be here and representing our school and our county, and to be a part of this band and this corporation. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it was certainly a pleasure watching you on TV. I didn't get to make the trip, but you made us so proud. So thank you so much. It was neat hearing Al Roker. He even mentioned you. Yes. And it was just a wonderful treat, and you make us all so proud. So thank you so much for all you've done. And I know it's not an easy task to get that many students and all of the equipment out there. So again, we're so proud of you, and thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Yay. We'll give them a second. What a fun evening.
I know.
Okay, now we'll get on to routine items. Agenda item number 6, consideration of routine business. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. The following routine items include approving the board minutes of the school board meeting held on January 22nd, 2024, and approving the claims and signing the docket for February 12th, 2024. I recommend the board approve the routine items as presented.
I'll make that one. We have a motion by Mrs. Metzger. Second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? Okay, we will ask Mrs. Glover to call roll, please, for the vote.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Eichner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7, consideration of items for board action.
President Wilhelmus will recess our regular meeting at this time and open a public hearing on the additional appropriation for the debt service fund that was advertised in the Boonville Standard on January 25th, 2024. After all members of the public have had an opportunity to speak, Mrs. Wilhelmus will then close the public hearing and reconvene the regular board meeting.
So at this time, if anyone would like to address this issue, please come to the podium. Seeing none, we will close that hearing and move back to the regular school board meeting. We will move on to agenda 7B. Consider approving resolution 24-3, additional appropriation for the debt service fund. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. In your board packet, you will find Resolution 2024-3, approving an additional appropriation of $111,095 for the debt service fund. I recommend the board approve Resolution 2024-3 as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker,
Second.
second by Mr. Eigner. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Glover, would you call a roll, please?
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Eigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7C, correct?
Yes.
7C, consider approving resolution 2024-4, authorizing the superintendent to hire substitute personnel. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find Resolution 2024-4. This resolution authorizes the superintendent the authority to hire substitute employees for all positions necessary to the operation of the Warwick County School Corporation. I recommend the board approve Resolution 2024-4 as presented.
I move to approve the resolution.
We have a motion by Mrs. Glover,
I'll second.
a second by Mrs. Metzger. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, or excuse me, Mrs. Glover, would you call the roll, please?
Absolutely. Ms. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Eigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7D, consider approval of manager salary adjustments. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet is a recommendation to adjust salaries for the specific positions of manager for the Warwick County School Corporation. The new manager salary index will be applied as a guide moving forward and has led to the salary increases for our managers. I recommend the board approve the new salaries as presented, effective January 1st, 2024.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker,
I'll
a
second.
second by Mrs. Glover. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Glover, call roll.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Eigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Item 7E, consider approval of stipend program for student teaching completion award. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. In your board packet is a request from the Director of Human Resources, Dr. Doug Gresham, to implement a stipend program called Student Teaching Completion Award. This program has been discussed and reviewed in committee by the Personnel, Food and Nutrition, and Custodial Committee. And just a couple of things on this before I send the recommendation to you. We're excited about this because the work that our student teachers are doing. It would be coming at the end of their, student teachers. It would come at the end of their service, so we do have criteria set for them. In addition to this, we are also going to do things like guarantee them at least one interview in Warwick County School Corporation, and we're trying, as other districts are also becoming more competitive, we are trying to pull the students to us for student teaching out of our local universities in particular, but of course across the state, but certainly our local community universities, and try to grab them and recruit them, and this is one way that we thought might be a nice bonus for them. So with that said, I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Make that motion. We have a motion by Mrs. Metzger.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Eigner. And I do have one comment. It seems like this is the trend nowadays. This is happening in other places. And this is an incentive to help retain the people who come.
It is, it is. I'm aware of one neighboring district who does this already. There's others across the state, but I think we will just be the second or third in southern Indiana, so we're hoping to grab early. Yes.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Mrs. Glover?
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Eigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7F, consider approving provider for lit fiber connectivity at Elberfeld Elementary School. I thought that might be a typo.
No, that was my same reaction, Mrs. Wilhelmus, and in fact, Mr. Armstrong and I had a conversation about this prior to the meeting, so just think of that as active fiber.
Okay.
That's
Lit.
maybe the easy way to say it.
Okay.
Lit fiber comes attached to an internet service provider. Dark fiber would just be laying the fiber and having it ready to use. When it's called lit, you actually have it live in the provider that turns it on.
Thank you.
So now we have had our lesson.
Yep.
So in your board packet, you will find a bid tabulation submitted by Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Todd Armstrong. Mr. Armstrong, along with the Director of Technology, Mr. Terry Rader, evaluated proposed bids submitted by vendors, computed bid tabulations, and utilized E-Rate's recommended criteria matrix to identify the superior proposal. Based upon these results, Astound is recommended to provide the service requested. I recommend the board approve Astound Business Solutions as the provider for lit fiber connectivity at Elberfeld Elementary School.
I move to approve.
We have a motion by Mrs. Glover, a second by Mr. Baker. Is there any further discussion?
Got a quick question. We haven't talked about E-rate in a while. I assume E-rate has not changed. The funding is still covering a lot, correct?
We're at 70% right now.
Okay.
It's going up and down. We've been between 60 and 75 the last 4 years.
Okay.
But we've been hovering in that range.
Okay, gotcha. And how long is this contract?
For 3 years, a 36-month contract with the option to extend it for 3 more years.
Gotcha.
3 years.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Mrs. Glover, call for the vote, please.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Eigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7G, contract recommendation for turf installation. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. In your board packet is a bid tabulation with all the bidders listed for turf installation at Boonville High School and Castle High School. After reviewing bid documents, Danco Construction, Inc. is the lowest bidder. I recommend awarding the contract for turf installation to Danco Construction, Inc.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker,
I second.
a second by Mrs. Glover. Is there any discussion?
I just want to state publicly that my family's company was a bidder. We were not a winning bidder. I saw the bid results, and a corporation's getting a good deal. I was number 2. So, but we're getting, truthfully, it's
We
getting a
are,
good deal.
yeah.
And Danco does a really good job for the corporation.
Yes, thank you, Jordan.
I'll abstain also, sorry.
Yes, that's what.
We'll call for the vote. Mrs. Glover.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7I, consider approving annual vendor agreement. Oh, I missed H, I'm sorry, let's go back. Item 7H, consider approving WPCC change orders. Dr.
Yes,
Redmond.
thank you. In your board packet, you will find a request from Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Todd Armstrong, to approve change order number 5, number 6, and number 7 for the Warwick Pathways and Career Center construction project. I recommend the board approve the change orders as presented.
I move to approve the change orders.
We have a motion by Mrs. Glover,
Second.
second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? Would you call for the vote, please?
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker. I vote aye.
Motion carries. Now we'll go to 7I, consider approving annual vendor agreement. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you. In your board packet, you will find a request from Castle South Middle School Principal, Mr. Greg Harris, to enter into an annual vendor agreement with Jumping Jacks Entertainment. This agreement will remain in effect until June 30th, 2024. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Motion to approve.
A second.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Aigner, a second by Mrs. Metzger. Is there any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Aigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries. Item 7K, consider appointing representative to Chandler Redevelopment Commission. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find a request to appoint Mr. Tim Mosby to serve as the non-voting school board advisor on the Town of Chandler Redevelopment Commission. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Glover.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Aigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
I'll abstain.
And I vote aye.
Motion carries.
It's all yours, Mr. Mosby.
It's all yours.
Ready or not.
You have a new position. Item 7J, consider accepting donations. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find the following donation request. Sharon Elementary School, a $2,000 donation from the Jacob Ball Wish Fund to be used for equipment with the Minds in Motion program and adaptive seating for the ABS class, which is the Autism and Behavior Support class. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Council North.
We got a Castle North in there too.
It's not on mine, sorry about that. Additionally, Castle North Middle School, a athletic needs. Now I would like to recommend the board approve these requests as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker,
Second.
second by Mr. Aigner. Is there any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Aigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Motion carries. Agenda item number 8, consideration of personnel recommendations. Dr. Gresham.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. The Human Resource Office has the following business to bring before the board tonight. Agenda item A, consideration of employment. Certified staff positions, Kylie Ulrey, speech-language pathologist for the 24-25 school year, and support staff positions, Rachel Cleveland, 3.25-hour cafeteria position at John H. Castle, Sharia Strange, 3.25-hour cafeteria position at John H. Castle, and Bryce Labhart, Class D, lawn care and general maintenance.
Motion to approve employment positions.
We have a motion by Mr. Aigner, second by Mrs. Glover. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Glover, call for the vote.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Aigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Agenda
Motion
item B,
carries.
terminations. Allison Ingalls, a 4.5-hour cafeteria position at Castle High School, termination to be effective January 22nd, 2024.
I move to approve the termination.
We have a motion by Mrs. Glover.
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Metzger. Is there any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Aigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries.
Agenda item C, leave requests. Crystal Fields, music and art teacher at Yankeetown Elementary. Kelsey Huber, third grade teacher at John H. Castle Elementary. Megan Fuquay, 5.5-hour cafeteria position at Oakdale Elementary. Taylor Freeman, program assistant at Newburgh Elementary. Melissa McCann, program assistant at Boonville Middle. Hannah Trine, speech language pathologist at Oakdale Elementary. Ann Chu Gold, 4.75-hour cafeteria position at Castle South. Dennis McLemore, Class D maintenance at Castle High. Sarah Horn, third grade teacher at Linville Elementary. Lori Miller, speech language pathologist assistant. Lori Hines, librarian at Castle South Middle. And Carolyn Barnett, 6.0-hour cafeteria position at Newburgh Elementary.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Mrs. Metzger.
Second.
Second by Mr. Aigner. Is there any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Mrs. Wilhelmus.
Aye.
Ms. Metzger.
Aye.
Mr. Baker.
Aye.
Mr. Aigner.
Aye.
Mr. Mosby.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Motion carries. Dr. Gresham?
Thank you. Agenda item D, cafeteria transfers. Tricia Arn, 6.0 hour cafeteria position at Oakdale to 5.75 hours at Oakdale. Agenda item E, report of reassignments. Tad Palace reassigned from assistant principal at Castle North Middle School to assistant principal at Boonville High School for the 24-25 school year. Julie Kemp reassigned from principal at Boonville Middle School to principal at Boonville High School for the 24-25 school year. And Evan Cheney reassigned from temporary program assistant to temporary part-time interpreter 3 hours a day and temporary program assistant 3.5 hours a day at Castle High School. Agenda item F, resignations. Rebecca Biggie, skills trainer, resignation effective May 23rd, 2024. Julie Newton, bus driver, resignation effective January 18, 2024. Christina Bond, program assistant at Castle High, resignation effective January 30, 2024. Amber Kinney, 3.25 hour cafeteria position at John H. Castle, resignation effective January 30, 2024. Bethany Goins, 6.0 hour cafeteria position at Sharon Elementary, resignation effective February 5th, 2024. Cynthia Simon, 3.75 hour cafeteria position at Castle North, resignation effective January 25th, 2024. And agenda item G, retirements. Marcia Fiskus, art teacher at Castle High School, retirement effective May 24th, 2024. And Jill Vile, music teacher at Oakdale Elementary School, retirement effective May 24th, 2024.
Thank you, Dr. Gresham. It's been a busy evening. Moving on to agenda item 9, reports. Dr. Redmond.
Yes, I just wanted to share with everybody, I'm not sure if you remember, a few months back, we talked about our IRE 3 scores, and I think at that time we mentioned that Dr. Jenner, our Secretary of Education, is really pushing for the state to increase its score. Right now, the state passing rate is an 80.1%, and you've probably slept in since then. So as a reminder, we as a district in Warwick County are sitting at 94.2%, which is an excellent pass rate, and we saw quite a big jump in this last round of testing. With all of that said, Dr. Jenner's goal by 2027 is to have the state of Indiana at a 95% pass rate. So in an attempt to do that and to make sure that all of our schools have the science of reading curriculum, there have been a lot of different pieces and pushes, but also she is dedicated to celebrating the schools who already have met for this past testing cycle that 95 percentile pass rate or higher. So this Thursday, 6 of our schools have been invited to the Indiana State House for the celebration of outstanding achievement for their IRE 3 scores. And I just wanted to mention the names. We're going to have a very early morning and take a road trip, and it's a 2-hour recognition and ceremony. So we have Yankeetown and Chandler, both in the 96th percentile. Castle Elementary is in the 97th percentile. And Elberfeld, Linville, and Tennyson all had 100% pass rate. That includes all students, including special ed students. So those are our 6 schools who will be recognized that day, which is exciting. So yes, clap. And then just to give you a little bit of context of how close we were, I feel like it would be awful not to mention Logue was at a 94.1. So they were right there. And then we had 2 other schools who were at like 91, 90, 91st, 92nd percentile. So
we are well on our way.
So we are on our way. So
Awesome.
excited about the work that our elementary K through 2 in particular, getting our students reading early. It's important work.
And starting next year, they're going to take iRead in grade 2, and if they pass, they've already been doing that, correct?
Yes, so we've had the last 2 years, we've had all schools, all districts in Indiana have had the opportunity to opt in to 2nd grade testing. The first year, we were not quite certain what that was going to look like, so we had 2 schools offered to pilot the first year, and that was Newburgh Elementary and I believe Elberfeld, yes. And so we weren't certain what the data back was going to be like. So that's, for us, always what is the most important piece. If we're going to test a student, then we want to make sure that we're going to get data that helps us inform our instruction with the student or interventions or whatever the case may be. So after we then tested those 2 schools, 2nd graders that year, that would have been 2 years ago, and then we saw the data that came back. Last year, we opted everyone in. I believe, Mr. Fisher, we've opted everyone in again for this cycle as well.
Correct.
Yes. So basically, just very quickly, because I can really get in the weeds with this stuff, and I don't want to do that tonight. But we get if a second grade student passes, then they are finished with iRead. They do not have to retake in third grade. Then a student might also get the designation of on track. So that just means from that point on, with just the regular instruction that student would receive the remainder of second grade, and then third grade until the testing cycle, they are right on track to pass. And then we get what's called the at-risk group. So we know that and have that information at the end of second grade. We give that information to the third grade teacher the following year, and they have a great piece of information about getting early interventions in very quickly in that third grade year, rather than having to do some testing of their own prior to having that information. So it's been a good thing. So just wanted to share that.
That's exciting. Congratulations to those 6 schools and the other ones who were so close as
Yes.
well. And we're right on track.
Yes,
Very good.
thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 10, other board business. Our next personnel meeting will be March 11th, 2024 at 6:30 in this building, unless we have a work session. But at this point, we haven't scheduled anything.
Tell me the date again.
March 11th.
Correct.
Okay. And then tomorrow, February 13th, we will have the WPCC construction meeting, and that will be held at the WPCC. Okay. We will have our WPCC construction meeting tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the at the WPCC facility. Sorry, I was watching Mrs. Wagner, and you're talking about...
She was signing me a cookie.
I'm like, what is she trying to tell us?
Yeah.
She was telling me to be
We're good.
quiet.
She's talking
Yeah,
to
our
you guys.
construction meeting is tomorrow morning, 7:30, WPCC. Okay, and it seems like there's a special ed transportation committee meeting announcement.
But that will be at a future date. That's what we're talking about. It will
Okay.
not be in the morning.
Okay, perfect.
Team Policy and Curriculum will next meet March 11th, 5:30, here at Central Services.
And do we need to mention that, we're still only having the one meeting in March?
That's
One
correct.
board meeting?
Yes, yes, unless something comes up that would require us to have a second one, because that second one falls during spring break week. We will have one board meeting in March, and that is March 11th.
I'd like to give a quick legislative update, things that are happening at Capitol. The first half of the session is complete. The third reading deadline in bills in the House was today, and in the Senate will be tomorrow. Of the 116 bills that Indiana School Board Association is tracking relating to education and children, 17 House bills and 25 Senate bills are crossing over to the second chamber. The reading deadlines are March 4th for the House and March 5th for the Senate, and the session ends March 14th. There are 7 key K-12 education bills we need to keep an eye on. First one is Senate Bill 1, authored by Senator Rogers, regarding reading skills. And there's a lot of things in these bills, but the highlight is this relates to students who are not reading proficient or at risk of not being proficient, and some of the steps that the legislatures hope to put in place that will affect those students. Third grade. Senate Bill 212, Various Education Matters, authored by Senator Ratz. This relates to the requisite public meeting before a contract for employment of the superintendent is entered into by the governing body and the superintendent. And I'm just giving highlights here. Senate Bill 270, Various Education Matters, again authored by Senator Rogers. This pertinent parts underutilized school buildings, and hopefully a direction to the Department of Ed to study creating regional clearinghouses for the exchange of information on internship opportunities for students. Senate Bill 282, Absenteeism and School Attendance, authored by Senator Donato, requires a governing authority of a school corporation to establish a truancy prevention policy for certain students in kindergarten through grade 6. House Bill 1073, special education, authored by Representative Cash. In part, relates to the installation of recording devices in classrooms in which the majority of students have severe disabilities, timeout areas, and seclusion areas. House Bill 1376, school-controlled project referendum, authored by Representative Benning, relates to proposed restrictions of school referenda for controlled projects. House Bill 1380, again, various education matters, authored by Representative Benning. And this is one of those bills that has a lot of things in it, but highlight just the establishment of 2 proposed pilot programs, relates to transfer tuition and the burden of proof in certain special education due process hearings. You can read the complete language of the bills in the Indiana School Board Association keeps a tracking list of what bills are going through, what's happening, if they've been amended. And thanks to our IT wizard here at Corporation, you'll find the legislative updates on the School Corporation website. Also, foundational statements and the principles of the Indiana School Board Association. And if anything, if you wish to support or oppose, you need to contact your local area legislatures. And that information is also on the corporation website. And I would highly urge, if you have any spare time, taking a look at all the 2024 bills that are being circulated in India in the General Assembly. And that you can find that tracking list and the language of the proposed bills at iga.in.us/legislative. And I would just want to say, it's been really, for me, it's been exciting because I get to email and communicate with these people. And sometimes I get a response and sometimes I don't. But it just excites me to be a part of the process and to see the things that are moving through and what they hope to achieve. Some good, not some.
Thank you for your work on that, Linda.
Yes,
Very much appreciated.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure appreciate that.
You know, I want to just say one thing to what Linda said. Thank you for that update. It was a couple of years back when we had a couple bills that seemed like ISBA was pretty hot on, you know. And for me, it was surprising how a little bit of communication does make a big difference to your representative.
It does.
I mean, a big deal. Like 10 emails or phone calls might sway them to say, okay, you know, just because they don't get a lot of communication. So public, you know, weigh in on that. If there's something you feel passionate about, talk to your representative, and, you know, just one or two emails may make a big difference.
And just a reminder to all of our employees that comes from your personal email, not your school email. That's just a reminder.
Okay.
But please, I want you to do, yes, please communicate. It just needs to come
Right.
from your personal email.
Is there anything else? Thank you. Meeting adjourned.